Hello, it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. I am a UK-based Stampin' Up demonstrator and I operate across Europe. So, Simple Stamping Saturday! Exciting. I always love Simple Stamping Saturday because it's my opportunity to show you how to take a basic card design and step it up. And today is a sneak peek of Delivering Cheer, which is in the new mini catalogue. If you're an existing customer of mine, you will be getting your new mini catalogue very soon. I had to do one or two more things and then they'll be in the post to you. So let me show you what I have made already. I'm going to change it a little, but this is what I have made, which takes this skirt with these parcels. So what I'm trying to show here is that you don't have to use it for Christmas. This would be great for a birthday, any form of celebration. And then of course, because it's Simple Stamping Saturday, I have also stamped on the envelope. But I say I'm going to change it very slightly because when you come to see my stepped up versions, you'll understand why. The only thing I'm going to change is the colours that I use for my colouring. So I used the first set of watercolour pencils, that's what they're called, when I made this card, and for the card that I'm going to show you today, I'm going to use the second set of colours. So the first thing we need to do, this is just one of our standard note cards, comes with envelopes. You get 20 note cards, 20 envelopes in a pack. I've already mounted up my stamps, so I've got my parcels and my skirt. Stamping on a flat surface is much easier than stamping on something that's flying, so although we will be folding this, I'm going to be leaving it flat. Here's my middle mark, so I'm going to be stamping over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my Memento ink pad is just ink up my stamp and just give it a few kind of taps. And then say the crease is here, so I want to be sort of central within the rest of the space. So pop it down, press hard. Now if you've got an uneven surface or you're not getting a good impression, I would recommend using the piercing mats, which you can find in our annual catalogue. It's a really good background to have for your stamps. I've got a slightly squishy surface here, so it's not such an issue. So that's my first stamp, and then let's do the parcels. Now, for this particular stamp, there are little dips here, which are where her hands are going to go. So what you're going to be wanting to do is very slightly overlap this top line. It will make more sense whilst you're actually doing it, but that's what I'm going to be looking to do. I'm going to look through my lovely clear stamp to see where I can overlap one of my stamps very slightly over the other. And down. Press hard. Oh, I say hard, firmly, rather than hard, and there we are. We've got a nice impression with the hands coming into that little dip that I was telling you about. Now there's also this little sort of shadowy bit here, which means that she's not going to be floating in the air. I'm not very good at people floating in the air like this. That kind of does something for me, or rather doesn't do anything for me. I find it really quite disturbing. So I'm going to just tuck the shadow so that it's just coming up underneath her foot, and then I'm going to keep it the same and try and line up this end with effectively this end. So standing over the stamp is the easiest thing, which is where you are. And there we are. So we've managed to line it up. So she's now actually walking on something, which makes me much happier. Doesn't take much to make me happy, but that makes me happy. Now, what I would say is if you're doing this, you know, when you're doing this, let the ink really dry because it is water resistant, and we're going to use a blender pen. until it's properly dry, there might be a little bit of bleeding. Actually, I can use that opportunity to stamp on the envelope. Just want to grab a piece of scrap paper. The back of a shipping label is always a good one for that. And then I'm going to take my parcels again and just ink those up. And I'm going to make sure that her hands are not over the visible. That's the word I'm looking for. Good grief. So I'm going to go just onto the bottom there. And hopefully I've got, yeah, so I've got a little bit of arm, but you wouldn't know that that was an arm unless you knew it was an arm. But I have got a line at the bottom, which again makes me happy. So that's the envelope done. We're not doing anything more to the envelope than that. Right, now I've marked my second set of colours with a piece of washi tape. So I've got Flirty Flamingo, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Gorgeous Grape, Crushed Curry, Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy and Balmy Blue are my choices of colours. I'm not going to use all of them, but that is what I've got to choose from if I'm using the second set of colours. Now, my personal preferred watercolour pencil for flesh, if you're looking at someone who is Caucasian, which is what I did here, is to use Calypso Coral. Haven't got Calypso Coral to choose from, so I'm going to go for a darker skin tone and use Cajun Craze. Cajun Craze. For one moment I was thinking I was using Crushed Curry, that's the one I was thinking of. So a bit of Cajun Craze. So what I'm going to do is colour everything and then get my blender pen and blend colours out. And I will bring in a piece of scrap paper because this is a brand spanking new piece of grid paper and it's just nice to be able to use it for more than one video. Right, so those are arms and legs. For her skirt, I'm going to go Cherry Cobbler, and I'm going to have it so that it's, again, this is slightly fading to the hem. I'm going to do the same basic idea. So the first thing we're going to do is just lay down colour. So what you want to do is get pigment onto the paper, and these are highly pigmented watercolour pencils, so you don't need to go mad. Though I might have to just sharpen this in a moment because I want to have some bits that are more shaded, and it's easier to do that with a sharper pencil. I've got a lump under here. Excuse me while I get rid of my lump, it's just a bit of fluff. But bits of fluff will leave marks on your watercolouring, or on your pencil, I should say. It'd be a bit like doing a brass rubbing. If you've got something that you're rubbing your pencil over, it will leave more pigment. I'm just going to do a light bit of shading down here, or colouring I should say, down here. And a bit more up the top. And then I will sharpen, if for no other reason than I want Cherry Cobbler shoes. And I don't have a point, so I will sharpen my pencil. And I've just got an ordinary pencil sharpener. I'm very particular about my pencil sharpeners, so it is one that I've had for a very long time, and I know it works and doesn't ruin your pencils, some pencils seem to actually go out of their way to break the lead, which I find really annoying. So once you find a good pencil sharpener, hang on to it for dear life. Right, I'll just add a bit more up the top. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of shading, sort of a lighter touch up on this parcel here. So I'm basically just going to be using 3 colours for these parcels. And I'm just going to get some tone by adding more or less pigment. And of course you don't have to use a blender pen, but they are amazingly good value because you get 3 in a pack. I can't remember how much they are. I want to say they're about £11 for 3, which is amazing. They last forever. Long time. Right, and then for this parcel I want this to be dark cherry cobbler for the parcel and light for the ribbon, and then I want this to be cherry cobbler, and again managing to get lots of colour down. We can pick up colour off the actual pencil when we use the blender pen later. Just going to add a bit more down here. Right, okay, so I'm going to go garden green next. And I'm going to have a little bit on this parcel. And on this stripe, which I'm thinking of as a ribbon. And then I'm going to have some more down here. And then add some shading by adding more. And there's going to be more around her hands and underneath. And then I'm going to go dark onto the ribbon. How are we doing time-wise? Not too bad. Not too bad. Not one of my shortest videos, but equally not one of my longest. And then again, this is going to be dark. So you should already be able to see that just by laying down different amounts of pigment you can get shading. And then I'm going to go balmy blue, which is this one. I always get this one muddled up. And I'm going to have balmy blue here. And on this one. And I think this is a lidded box. Certainly looks like a lidded box, so we're going to have shadow there and there, because this is next to it. And then we're also going to have shadow under there, I think. Right, okay, so let's grab my scrap piece of paper again, just so that I've got something to scribble on. Let's find a cleaner bit. There we go. Nice piece again. Shipping label. So always check that you're. Ooh, that's a bit dry. Let's see what the other end's like. Not brilliant. Bear with me one moment. Let me see if I have another one tucked away somewhere. Otherwise, it will do. I thought I did, but I don't seem to. Got all sorts of other pencils, but not blender pens. It's fine. Yeah, it'll do. It'll do. In fact, no, it's doing very nicely. So this is arms. And legs. I am trying to avoid the stamped image as much as I can, simply because it may still bleed a little. Ooh, I wonder what that one, this one might be better, might not be, however. Ooh, no, it is. It is, it is, it is. Yes. Right, so we've done our arms and our legs, so let's blend the dress. And I do like a circular movement, but do not go mad in one place, because if you do, you're going to pill the cardboard. So you're going to, what you would do if you put too much of the damp onto the paper is you'd break down the fibres of the paper, and that's not an attractive look. If you want to pick up more colour, you can just come onto the pencil and pick it up from there. So we can add some shading just by picking up colour from the watercolour pencil. Now you can use these with water painters as well, but I would suggest that you use those on either the shimmer white or the watercolour paper. Certainly not on ordinary card, because again that will break down the fibres of the card. Oh, I don't know why I was cleaning that, because I need more cherry cobbler. Right, so there's the lighter bits of cherry cobbler, and these are the darker bits. And basically you just end up with a slightly smoother result by using your blender brush. You can also use your blender brush with your ink pads, so don't think it's just for watercolour pencils. You can use them in effect as a paintbrush with your ink pads. So just doing the darker bits first, and then bring in the lighter. And then we just need to do the blue, and we are there. And there we are. That is our finished card. So let's fold this on our score line, and I do highly recommend, I know I say this every week, I do recommend a bone folder. They are brilliant at getting a nice crisp fold. So there we are, those are our two simple cards. We've got one just for any occasion, one much more sort of the Christmassy colours. So let me clear these out of the way, and then I will show you what I've done to step them up. So this is the first one, which uses exactly the same colours apart from, so this is using blends, as in stamping blends. The only colour that I did, well, colours that I didn't have is, this is Rich Razzleberry, and we now don't have Rich Razzleberry as a blend, so this is Blackberry Bliss. Pacific Point, I've used the light Night of Navy, but otherwise the colours are the same. She says, that is, can't remember what colour I used there. Oh Oh, Bermuda Bay. Yes, and that is Bermuda Bay. Nope, so they are the same. And then I've just mounted it. I've stamped the ground onto the paper that I've used, and this is the Brights 6x6 designer series paper, and this is Daffodil Delight and Melon Mambo, which is what this colour is. And I've just lined up the dots, because I am that sad, they do line up. And then I've put some of the Elegant Faceted Gems just around there, and then Fussy Cut. So that's my first stepped up version, and that goes with that one. My second stepped up version is this one, which is definitely Christmas. So we've got some of the Expressions in Ink designer series paper. This is the specialty paper, currently out of stock in Europe. Sorry, it is on its way, so it should be back in stock early next month. It's great using the green for Christmas, so think of it as a dual purpose. This is actually shaded spruce that I've used. So I've used shaded spruce for the green rather than garden green, because we don't have garden green. Cherry cobbler, and I've added, now can I get that to pick up? I'm hoping, yes it is. So I've added some Wink of Stella to her dress and to the balmy blue parcels. Then this is some of the cherry cobbler and gold ribbon from the new catalogue. Some of the gold shimmer vellum from the new catalogue. The wintry 3D embossing folder, which is in the annual catalogue. And then these are Evening Evergreen in colour pearl jewels, which just look beautiful, even though this isn't Evening Evergreen. I mean, there is some Evening Evergreen here, but they're just so special. Love them. So that's my stepped up version of this card. This is my stepped up version of this card, and we go 1, 2, 3, back to 1. So I hope you have enjoyed those. Let me bring those down so you can actually see them. If you did, please give them a thumbs up. As I say, it's the Delivering Cheer stamp set, which is in the new mini catalogue. And it is one of those ones that you can get early, because it doesn't have to be Christmas or winter. This can be a bouquet of flowers. You've even got leg warmers that you can put on her, or they're more like tights, I suppose, woolly tights, that you can put over her welly boots, so she can keep her legs warm. It's just such a fun set. So I hope you will think of putting that on your wish list, and I will see you again very soon. I'm live on Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock UK time, and Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock UK time. I do occasional other videos. Do remember that I have got my product shares. If you're in the UK, you can get information on that from my website, which is linked below. I've also got, oh, my brain's gone. There was something, oh yes, the designer series paper. That's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, neither of these sets of designer series paper are on the promotion, but there are lots and lots that are on promotion, 15% off, so now is the time to fill those shelves with lovely fresh packs of designer series paper. You can get that until the 2nd of August. So do remember to do that. If you place an order with me in July and you use the host code, which is on my website, you will be sent a full pack, she says trying to find one, a full pack of the Genial Gems, and this is the really special bit, you will be entered into a draw to win a mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. You will also get the card packs for the month. Everybody always gets the card packs for the month, as long as you use the host code or place an order that's over £150. All the information about that is on my website, and there's a link to the post on that below. Thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!